Hi, my name is Doug Lucas. Welcome to Emerald Hill Skies. Tonight we've got Saturn that we're looking at through our RASA 11 from that observatory about 200 feet outside my office here. That RASA 11 is honed in with its ZWO ASI 2600 MC Pro, and we're going to zoom in on Saturn. So let's go to the live view. This is exactly what we're seeing with you at the same time now. This is the live view through our 11-inch telescope. So here's Saturn, very bright in the middle. But the reason why I have it very bright right now is so we can zoom in here and look. This is the moon Hyperion right there. So now let's go over to Stellarium, which is a planetarium software. And there's Hyperion. So there's bright Saturn here in the middle. Notice the ring structure is parallel with all the moons. So Hyperion is up there. Now that we've seen Hyperion, just barely right here, right there. Now let's darken this down. That's a 3-second exposure. Let's go down to 2 seconds. And let's look at some of these other moons now. Look at this star formation. This is a kind of a acute triangle, isn't it? Not a C-U-T-E, but acute. Let's see if we can find that acute triangle. So here's that acute triangle, and the star that's the tip of that pointy acute triangle is actually a moon of Saturn called Iapetus. Iapetus. So let's go back to the live view. So there's Iapetus. So now let's zoom in. We've seen Iapetus. So now let's go down a little bit more. Let's go 1.5 second exposure. So here's the next moon then we can see, which is Titan. So here's the moon Titan live. Now let's see what this is here. That would be Rhea. Rhea. So there's Rhea. Now look at this out from the ring structure a little bit. That would be likely Enceladus or Calypso. Enceladus. That would be Enceladus. And then Dione is getting very close to the ring structure. So let's zoom in a little more and let's bring down to 1 second view. Maybe just starting to see there. Let's go down to 700 milliseconds. Let's go down to, there's 700. Let's go down to 500 milliseconds. So we're at half second. Okay, now we can see directly in a line with those two. What would that moon be? Rhea, Enceladus. What would you think? Would that be, oh, Titan, Rhea, that's Dione. Titan, Rhea. This must be Dione right there, and that must be Titan, Rhea, Enceladus. This is Titan, Rhea, Enceladus. That's Dione. Now let's go down to 300 milliseconds. 200 milliseconds. It's been a while since I focused here in this session tonight too. I think that's all we're going to be able to see with this focus cone. But now you can distinctly make out those 2 additional moons there. Every once in a while in the sizzle, there might be 1 moon over there to the right. Let's look and see what that might be. Yeah. Enceladus, Dione. So that might be Iapetus, or it could be the combination of seeing Pandora with Prometheus and Iapetus. Now what we're not seeing is Tethys, because it's behind Saturn. Okay, so now let's go over to science.nasa.gov/Saturn.moons. It looks like at a different way. This is their little 3D view, and there's Iapetus, Titan, Rhea. Let's turn this a little bit more this way so we can see what we're looking at. So we looked at Iapetus, Titan, Rhea, and then we saw Dione and Enceladus, but we could not see Mimas and Tethys because, see, they're on the back side of the planet like that. Now we can go down and look at these images. There's Titan. Remember, that's the one that's pretty good size, like bigger than Mercury. Enceladus, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? Hyperion, and then you can read more about each of these. We saw Hyperion, didn't we? Hyperion was out far to the left, remember? Down here you can see a list of all 100 and, what are there now? 146, is it? 100, I think it's 140, yeah, 146 moons. Mimas, Enceladus, Tethys, Dione, Rhea, Titan, Hyperion, Iapetus. We saw those. So we saw the first 8 moons, most of them. We didn't see Tethys because it's behind the planet tonight. But it makes for a very interesting view, doesn't it? Let's go down to 70 milliseconds. And now you can start to see the ring structure a little better. 50 milliseconds. 20 milliseconds. There. So now the moons have disappeared. They've all been disappeared because we're having to make the planet, you know, we're having to dim the planet so we can see a little more of the ring structure, which is, by the way, edge on to us tonight. So we're not seeing like the beauty of the full ring structure from top down, so to speak. Instead, we're seeing it edge on. But it's still an interesting view, isn't it, to be able to see those rings like that, picking up the sunlight. So a little bit of Saturn tonight. I hope you've enjoyed that. Just a quick little EAA real time. Thanks for being a part of this. If you like content like this, you could click subscribe, and then you'll be alerted to it. You could click thumbs up if you like it, and that will get it up in everybody else's view better when they search for Saturn. And you could also go to emeraldhillskies.com and subscribe to our email list. And if we're doing a normal EAA viewing session, we email you the night before we do it. And these weren't normal EAA viewing sessions. They're just little close-ups or reviews. But normally you'd get an email about that if you'd like. Thanks a lot for being a part. If you watched the whole way through, God bless for being a part. And thanks to God for making such an interesting planet to travel around the solar system with.